Hey guys, welcome back and welcome if you're new. My name is Casey and I am a stay-at-home mom living here in Texas and taking care of my family and my girls. And this week, well actually this month, I am going to start a new series, a soup series, because my younger sister informed me that January is soup and stew month. So I thought, hey, that'd be fun. I will go ahead and do a soup series because who doesn't love soup? So my first soup that we are going to start out with is going to be a tortellini soup. It is one of my all-time favorite soups. I've been making it for years and years, and it's just such a warm and cozy and comforting, homey goodness kind of soup. And it is just so delicious, and it's so easy to put together. I promise it's so easy. And in this video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step kind of little tutorial. Follow along with me in this video to making this soup. It's super easy, and bonus, if you have a little sous chef, a 3-year-old sous chef who can help you along the way, it's even better. Isn't she so cute? I just love that little stinker with those little chubby hands stealing my carrots. I just can't get enough of it. Watching back, I just love it. So you're going to want to go ahead, and first step is to start cutting your veggies. And in my opinion, and I think you'll probably agree with me, you're going to want to go ahead and make sure whatever you cut your onion last. And the reason I say that is because if you have your onion that's kind of has been sitting out, you don't want to be crying over this darn soup. So a few little tips you just saw across the bottom is that to use a sharp knife and to make sure that your onion has been refrigerated. That's a little tip I learned a long time ago, that a cold onion will not make you cry. So go ahead and stick that onion in the fridge, maybe for an hour or so before you start. Or if you're like me, I always throw my onions in the fridge whenever I go shopping. That's just what I do. And I would say 95% of the time, I don't have any issues with tears or crying. So that's my little tip to you, is go ahead and cut your veggies, but make sure you cut your onion last. So then we're going to go ahead, step 2, we are going to melt the butter, and I personally like to melt the butter completely before throwing in any of the veggies, because I kind of like when you throw your veggies in and you get that like sizzle, right away. I've typed up the recipe and it's in the description box, and there's a link for it down below. Just click the link and you can print it out, or you can just read it there. So we're going to go ahead and throw all of that in there, and I'm going to go ahead and let these vegetables go ahead and saute. Some recipes say just 3 minutes, but I actually prefer 10 or even longer, because I like to get a good saute on those veggies. I like the onions to be nice and translucent, nice and soft. I don't want any crunch with this soup. So you're going to go ahead and do that, and just kind of keep stirring every now and then. And then towards the end, you're going to go ahead and add your garlic. And the reason I don't add my garlic in with the veggies right away is because I always am so paranoid about my garlic burning. So I kind of add it towards the end when most of my veggies are kind of cooked and soft and tender. And I just make sure to keep stirring so that you don't burn the garlic. I have made this recipe, I guess I made it many years ago. And I was pregnant and I was about to have a baby, and I was just so tired, and my garlic burned, and I was so upset that I had to remake the soup all over again. So I always make sure to add the garlic last and stir. So now you're going to add the broth, and it's going to be 2 cartons. I believe they're both 32 ounces, and I was having a little trouble with this carton. It didn't open all the way. And then you're going to go ahead, so after you add these 2 boxes, I believe they make like a 64-ounce box, but That's what I saw at the grocery store, so that's what I chose. So you're gonna add that, and then you're also gonna add 2 cups of water. If you want, you can go ahead and add 2 cups of broth additionally. I prefer just the water, and then you can season it to taste. So once I've added all that, I'm gonna turn the heat up to high, and I'm going to bring this to a boil. While that's kind of cooking away and boiling, I go ahead and I just kind of open my pasta, I get it prepped, and this is the buitoni tortellini pasta. I got the 3 cheese. Sometimes I get the roasted chicken flavor. It's totally up to you. You can choose whatever flavor you like. That's the beauty of this soup. Whatever tortellini you like. You could even add shredded chicken to this recipe, and I'm sure it would taste delicious. Going to go ahead and add that salt and pepper, and you're going to add it to however you like it, to your taste. I added, I would say, like a good heaping teaspoon of kosher salt. Oh yeah, a tip, FYI, a watched pot never boils unless you have time lapse, and then it does. So go ahead and let that soup come to a boil. Add your salt, your pepper. Taste it every now and then. That's what I do. And then once it comes to a full boil, you're going to go ahead and you are going to add the tortellini and cook it according to the directions of whichever tortellini that you buy. I always buy buitoni. That's just what's kind of worked for us. That's what I buy. This soup comes together fairly quickly. Truly, it really does. It's so easy. So you're gonna let that come to a boil again, and you're gonna cook it for 7 minutes. And during that time, I actually like to go ahead and cut up some bread. You get whatever kind of bread you like. You don't have to. This is just a little add-on that we like. This week I am using ciabatta bread. You can use French bread, you can use focaccia, or whatever you prefer. I got ciabatta because that's what I saw in my bakery and it looked good. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it in big strips, and then you'll see in a minute I'm gonna add olive oil. And in the olive oil, I just sprinkled a little bit of garlic powder in there. So you're gonna go ahead and get that all prepped and ready for when your pasta is boiling, and you're gonna stick it under the broiler. And just a little tip, keep an eye on that bread when it's under the broiler, because I ran to a kid who had to go potty, and then I ran to another kid who was trying to change into her jammies, and I got sidetracked, and sure enough, I burned the darn bread. And you know what? I burned it twice. I had to do it twice. So keep an eye on that bread when it's under the broiler, because otherwise you're gonna burn it. Timer went off, it's all good. And you're gonna go ahead and add your parsley now. So I wouldn't say the parsley adds a whole bunch of flavor, but it does make it look pretty. So that works. So go ahead and add your parsley and just kind of give it a good stir, and then you are all done. This soup is so easy to throw together. It's so delicious. And with this winter and chilly weather, I mean, it's so cozy and just yummy. Enjoying this soup on a cold night or any night. I'll eat this soup in the summertime. I don't care. It tastes so good. You can also throw on a little bit of Parmesan cheese if you'd like on top. It's not necessary, but just adds a little bit of flavor to it. It's quite tasty. So you're gonna go ahead and add that and just enjoy this soup. And I promise that everybody is going to love it. It's so delicious, and my daughter tasted it and she was so happy with it. So we're working on trying new things, and she just loved it. So it's a hit for sure. We have a winner. And I would just like to say thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your busy days to watch my video. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much. And come back for next week to see what our next soup is. All right, y'all. Bye.